NRL wrap. Well, not so much as a wrap this week, more like a packet of lollies at the movie theatre. Hey, Isaac.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Part two of round one
Ooh.
was kicked back off on a Thursday night with a repeat of what was, I thought, a pretty decent finals game last year, with the Raiders hosting the Knights. All the talk was the Knights, strong performance last year, would back it up as well. Everyone waxing lyrical about the Deli M that was Kalen Ponga. But unfortunately, they got pumped. They got pumped by a really discredited Raiders team. They had a sign on their wall said something to do with everyone can go fuck themselves. So anyway, but how did we see that, boys? It was a good clash from of the ages, actually, going back to those old school great days between Knights and the Raiders.
I was happy for them. I was really happy for the Raiders just because I knew exactly the position that they were coming into the season in, because that's where we were last year. And no one expected anything from us. So thought, these guys are going to spoon it. And yeah, they just came out and played really well. And yeah, it wasn't even really close in the end. They just did a good job.
I did see Grubson Young up to his old tricks again.
Yeah.
As well, laying out Kalen Ponga, which would have been, it was pretty fantastic little effort there. Great little play as well. But the attack still didn't kind of, how do you put it, excite me. A lot of kick tries, and that's the Raiders sort of thing. But hard to deal with, eh? They're just, we've got them in a couple of weeks' time, so we need to watch out, lads. They're hard to deal with. We'll skip, obviously, that Warriors Sharks game because that's shit. And we'll go to the touted as the match of the second round, Storm v Panthers. I think it'll be a massive high-scoring affair. And the Premier's got a big donut. Who saw that coming?
Not me. Not a lot
That's
of people
Melbourne,
in their
bro.
picks.
Melbourne round one. They're unstoppable.
22 seasons unbeaten, round one.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Loaded up, eh? But what I did appreciate is that this is just an absolute slugfest, right? It was tough, gritty. Both teams laid it on the line as well. And yeah, Storm just doing Storm things.
Also thought Cleary had a point, Ivan Cleary, about the whole obstruction thing, because obviously they're going to try rubbed out because of, the rule. They were following the rule. But I think there's something wrong with that rule because no one actually gets obstructed in the play at all, and Panthers go off and score a great try, but it gets brought back because of the rule. But yeah, anyways,
it's a tough one to take for those fellas, but we don't mind seeing them lose. I guess a new look Bulldogs. I can't even recognise any of those players from last year. A few of them, maybe a few, up against a resurgent Eels as well. So. Eels coming out on top 26 to 8. Thoughts, lads? I thought the Eels actually looked like a powerhouse version of themselves 2 years ago. So, there was a lot of talk of them being written off this season as well. But actually, they look pretty strong.
Yeah, I wouldn't write them off. I think they've got enough quality across their team to compete and be, doing a lot better than what they did last year. Of course, they had the hangover last year coming off the grand final loss, so that's always a tough one. But yeah, I think they can be in the mix, and probably all of the preseason overblown sort of hope for the Dogs might just be just that, a little bit overblown. So we'll see.
Exactly, and a big shout out to the cuzzy of a cuzzy, the one, the only Morgan Harper. In new look colours, without the lovely flowing locks as well, dotted down in the corner. So good to see the bro representing. Big actually. This is for me was a bit of a turn up for the books. A team that has been written off all back end of last season and the start of this season. The Dragoons probably looked one of the sharpest teams in the NRL. Their attack was flowing up against let's face it, a hapless Titans. Desi looked distraught in the box, but how did we see it, boys?
Just glad to see the The Gold Coast Titans get rolled, to be honest. Like, I was enjoying it. Like, yeah, tough boys, eat that.
It was actually pretty nice to see like guys like Ben Murdoch-Masila, getting a good run, celebrating, and as a team that was pretty slated back end of last year, right? Actually get together and galvanise.
What about Ray FM as well? Ray FM looked good. Tyler Mariner.
Oh yeah, I was actually thinking like too good a player not to have been picked up from a team that might actually do something. No disrespect to the Dragons fans, but surely he couldn't come back to Auckland. I don't know. Actually, I did say I only got one game right this weekend. Actually, I got two, but this game I did pick. And a team that was struggling all season back end of last year, the Cowboys, getting the job done against the Dolphins 43-18. Look like Cowboys of 2022. That's
right. Yeah, nice. I didn't see any of that game, but sounds nice.
Sounds nice.
Another team with heaps of strike, so they're a scary team. I find them scary, regardless of how they'll, if they're winning or losing. I'm scared of them. But
yeah, absolutely. So pretty much what I can think in that whole round, 7 of the bookies' favourites went down. There you go.
Goodness gracious. Did any home teams win?
The Eels got up. So thank you very much.
If they didn't get up, there would be 29,000 people who would have been pissed off.
The Storm got up. So, so look, just goes to show, who knows what's going to happen in the NRL. And that's your NRL wrap.
Thank you for wrapping that up before Isaac unwraps his movie lollies there. Awesome, mate.